Doesn't want to do it, that she's sitting in the middle of this New Year party reading a book.
Don't do bullshit like that.
Oh, were you not on time for form class this morning, bro?
I didn't say it like
What?
that. And then
He's going somewhere with this. He's
you've got to like. So wait, no. I'm trying to.
Everybody just come on in the club.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I remember when I get so sweaty screaming that song in clubs, steaming off like 8 VKs, like just I can't sing it. Yeah, like that.
The more I talk about it, the more like insane, like animalistic desperation I have to go and watch it after this.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Sorry I Don't podcast, where we discuss films that are ridiculous. Maybe they're amazing, maybe they're terrible, but we'll find out together on the Sorry I Don't podcast. I'm Swanny, and I'm joined today, as always, by...
I'm Claude.
And I'm Abby.
And it's been a hot
It's been
minute.
a while.
It's been a hot minute,
I mean,
This was actually meant to be our New Year film.
What is
It's
it? Was
almost
it the
March.
20th?
yeah, you know, those
We're
writer's
so
strikes.
late that it's almost our year anniversary of the
Oh,
podcast.
oh
Yeah, on
That's what it
Wednesday
is.
it'll be a year since we recorded our
Really?
first podcast.
Oh god, that's brilliant.
We were talking about the podcast the other night, and Swanny's like, those 3-hour-long ones, man. It's a sin for whoever watched those. Which is a cheek.
Not taking into account, I was saying this to the people that had produced those. I was like, that's a fucking sin. Fucking, who did that? And they were like, we did. Several times. We asked for your help. You freaked out.
It's been a year and Swanny still has only watched one episode and then refused to watch any more because he doesn't like listening to his own voice, despite being on a podcast.
Yeah.
I just remember
No,
having to take breaks while we watched the first one back, and you were like, oh, guys, I need another break. You've got to understand, I've never had to hang out with myself before.
No, that was true. It was eye-opening because I'd seen myself like on screen or on films, like film stuff, because I'd done short films at uni, and it was always a character, right? So when I actually seen myself, it was like, oh,
It's a lot of character.
like a lot of them at once. And then that was when I was using phrases that just weren't coming across well. I was like, oh, I'm not a lassie. I can't say that. I can't call Bella something like that. It doesn't come out well. We edited it, so it's good.
You're making it sound so much
Much
worse
worse than it
I
was.
just called her a dumb bitch. Why have I said this?
You totally
Anyway,
talked yourself into this
I
corner.
did. I put a box over the
Anyway,
corner.
today's film that we are reviewing is High School Musical.
Yes.
The first one.
The very first one, and hopefully we'll do the rest of them. What's the word for it? Yeah, after the writer's strike has been done here, we're finally back. Our writer's strike took a little bit longer to negotiate. Cammy is a hard taskmaster, but you know we all got the shares and dividends that we need. Anyway, we are back. AI generated content is not coming. So, High School Musical, released in 2006, I believe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Kenny
Pause-
Ortega is the director.
Pause 1 second. I'll do that last wee bit again. Can we do that again? Is that fine, or have I fucked it already?
No, it's okay.
I just typed in high school. That's not what you do.
When did High School come out?
When, it is 2006, I was right. I'm so good at that. Sick, man. Right, so, yeah, High School Musical came out in 2006. It's a musical. It was a television film by Kenny Ortega, known for such films as Hocus Pocus, The Cheetah Girls 2, Michael Jackson's This Is It, and The Descendants, which is pretty cool. That's interesting.
The Descendants.
Yeah.
I've seen all the Descendants films because I've got little sisters, but that is their High School Musical. I introduced them to High School Musical, and I was like, guys, this is what it's all about. Forgetting that, like, you know, kids in school these days aren't really watching High School Musical.
Oh.
And within about a month, they were like all over the Descendants. This was the thing. This is
Yeah.
what they're still selling merch for. Yeah, they're
What's the
obsessed.
Descendants?
It's a Disney Channel original movie. The idea is the children of like the villains from, well, basically they're all in this ghetto. All the Disney villains' children's are like in this like island where they're not allowed to leave. It's a bit dark, but they suddenly get the opportunity to go to a high school with all the like heroes of like the princes and princesses' children, and they fuck shit up.
That when I read that there, I didn't think that was the descendants we were talking about. Although it makes a lot more sense in context. Now it is that. I thought it was one with George Clooney. When
No.
his wife passes away and there's all this stuff.
Not that one. But also on the subject of Kenny Ortega, I need to make a retraction because in our Dirty Dancing episode, I said that the director was the same guy who did this, but he's not. He was the choreographer.
I was going to say, Kenny Ortega was the choreographer for Dirty Dancing, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, St. Elmo's Fire, Pretty in Pink, and One from the Heart. And he's also directed multiple concert tours from Cher and Michael Jackson. So
What a repertoire he's
this
got
guy
going on, man.
knows how to do choreography.
His thing, yeah.
Musical. He's got a vibe with it. So yeah, what is it? 2006. So I remember this because I was obviously a bit older. I was like 12, 13 when it came out. I think it was 12. And I remember when it was coming out because obviously all the hype was going on. Oh, here's the High School Musical. And I remember, you're a wee boy, you're 12, you're like, what's this going to be about? And yet we all tuned in and watched it when it came out. I remember we did because it was the day before we went on a school trip. So there was this moment, all the girls on the trip were like, oh my God, yeah, Troy, oh my God, he's amazing. Oh my God, what we get? All this chat. And all the boys were just sitting there like, High School Musical. Did you watch it? But I did. We're all in. No, there was this, if you were singing it, you were made fun of. But everyone at one point or another sang a wee bit of it. And as soon as the lassie spoke to you about it, it was like, oh yeah. Some of the songs are catchy, but it was just at 12. It was just ridiculous. I remember even at that age being like, we are really embarrassing ourselves. Why can't we just embrace this? So this is my attempt to embrace it. What were your guys' kind of first reactions to this? Because you're obviously a little bit, you're about 8, 7?
I was 7.
7 or 8.
Yeah, it must be it then.
I remember it being like the song for primary school, like talent shows.
Oh really?
Was,
what one?
the song. Why is it went out of my head?
Breaking Free.
Breaking Free. Yeah, that was the one.
Iconic, isn't it?
And I was also a hater at some point, but like not a very good one because all of the High School Musical tunes were like, I would listen to them all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
On YouTube, because I didn't have an iPod at that point. And once I got a computer, I would listen to it on YouTube, and I would make really cool videos of like my toys with like High School Musical songs in the background. And then I was like, yeah, but it's kind of shit.
yeah, I don't like it that much. No, I was the same. And then again, did that dichotomy. And then I kind of had to throw all that pretense aside because I ended up going to see High School Musical 3 in the cinema. We were right in the front row, and we're like, what, 16 at that point? So you're trying to show off to these girls now. So I'm sitting here going, we're all in like standing up in the middle of the theatre, a packed theatre, and it's me and...
Why did I picture you wearing a neon t-shirt that says YOLO on it in this memory? That feels very much like that would have been your vibe at 16.
Just before YOLO became the thing. YOLO kind of came in like 18. That's when YOLO really picked off. But it's the songs do just stick with you. So for yourself, Abby, yes. Before I go reminiscing more.
I'll drop this in as we go through the plot, but High School Musical, to say that I was a fan would be a massive understatement. I'm actually going to I'm going to explain today on the podcast how High School Musical changed the very course of my life. To the point where I met you guys. There is a chance that if this movie had not come out, we would not be friends today. So High School Musical literally altered the course of my life. But I was the biggest fan. Like, my gran was like in America at the time, so it had come out there I think earlier, or like the merch and all that sort of stuff had hit. So I like knew about it I think before I'd even seen it. And I had like every single thing I owned had like High School Musical in it, like Troy and Gabriella's faces on it. I had bed sheets that were High School Musical. Like I just was everything. I had a Bebo page and I would like link. It was like a mixture of half My Chemical Romance and half High School Musical 2 themed.
That's such a Venn diagram of us as friends.
Yeah, literally.
Unbelievable.
And I would get up every single morning and like I had it on my iPod and I had like done my own dances and I would just get up at like 7 o'clock every Saturday morning as if I was training for like the fucking Olympics. Like, practicing for nothing. Like every single day I was like dedicated in my love for High School Musical. But yeah, it really, I'll get into it, but it really did genuinely alter the course of my life.
Exciting. I'm excited to discover more of this. So, plot rundown.
Yep. So we start off, it's New Year's Eve, which is why we wanted to do this film initially as our New Year's one.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Happy
Happy New
2024. This is a Swanny Happy New Year. It's very, very late.
Very, very late, but very, very earnest and heartfelt. And please listen.
Keep listening.
Keep listening. We're back.
But yeah, so they're at a New Year's party. Gabriella is with her family. Troy is with his family. He's practicing his basketball. That's his thing.
So to clarify, Troy, played by Zac Efron, and Gabriella, played by
Vanessa
Hudgens.
The Vanessa Hudgens.
The Vanessa Hudgens.
They're at this hotel. They both go alone to this kind of like mixer type thing. And in something that I feared was a real thing, but isn't, they get forced to do karaoke.
Yeah.
Like
They get handpicked by
like
the
by a
DJ.
spotlight.
Oh, it's like the weirdest DJ ever. It's like, yo, you two, yeah, come on. We'll see if
two-
we make some magic.
Absolute strangers, please get on this stage now to sing a song that I'm not even going to tell you what it is. They just get pulled onto the stage. Gabriella clearly doesn't want to do it, and they're just forced onto the stage, and the music just starts playing. Somebody hands them a microphone.
Gabriella wants to do it so doesn't want to do it that she's sitting in the middle of this New Year party reading a book.
That is Abigail all over. Absolutely. No.
She was the original pick me. And they did pick her.
Yeah, and then she was annoyed that she got picked. See,
I'm not gonna lie. If you ever want to get picked to do something in a social setting like that, then be the person who clearly doesn't want to do it the most, because you will get picked on.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get forced onto the stage together. He kind of brings her out of her shell. They're singing the song, "The Start of Something New." Banging tune,
It's
great
the
song.
Start of something new. Yeah, it's great. There you go.
That's
Feels so right to be here with you. No, I'm not going to do all of that for every song.
I was going to say, please don't do this for every song.
I feel like, okay, I'll hold it to one more. I'll do it on one more song.
I feel nervous.
Choose
now,
wisely,
which one it's
man.
gonna be.
Don't tell us.
I don't know what one it'll be. It'll just
Okay.
come naturally.
Okay. So they kind of like start falling in love as they sing to each other. They do the classic rom-com trope thing. She almost trips and falls off the stage, but like he catches her. They share this intimate moment, and then they go outside for the bells. Apart from, what's it called? Do they call it the bells in America? No.
They call it like
The works. Fireworks. I don't
For
know.
midnight, I guess. They call it when the ball drops.
when the ball drops.
Don't know why.
Because I think there's like in New York or something like
Yeah.
a big ball drops.
From where?
A tower? Like, I feel like, no, do you know what it is? It's
Oh,
probably,
it crushes half of the
no,
population
it's-
every year.
I think it's even funnier than that. It's like one of those do you know those fun fairs that you would get that would just spring up in a field near your house for a few weeks?
Yes.
I think it's like one of those attractions that gets wheeled out, and I'm like, but this is
You're just
probably.
making this up.
I might be. I'm just saying. I'm also.
Times Square.
I always imagined
Yes.
that it was like a disco ball, because you know how disco balls like get like taken down from the ceiling, and I assumed that that's what that meant.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
That makes way more sense than what the fuck
Well,
you're
to be
talking
fair,
about.
I was trying to riff, and then I kind of got so into it might be real. That it wasn't funny. But yeah, I don't know why they call it the ball.
But
Must be something like that.
you think for a second, and you would be daft, that they're going to share a New Year's kiss.
Of course.
And thus begins the long, prolonged, drawn out, well, they won't, they kiss. They try throughout these 3 films to get a wee smooch in, and at every turn, Troy is prevented.
Wait out, so they don't actually kiss at all in this trilogy, do they?
No, they do. I'm sure they kiss. I don't know if they kiss in the second one. They definitely kiss by the third one. I'm sure they do.
Well,
But there's a
Do they not kiss in the first one? I thought they
no,
kissed
they
at
have
the
a wee
end.
lame hug at the
yeah,
end.
they do have a wee.
It's the
lame-
lamest thing I've
It's so
ever seen.
cute.
It's cute, but it's like, guys, that is not representative of high school teenagers at that age if they're into each other. They
And
wouldn't
they
be
don't kiss
they'd be doing a
in the
shy
second
kiss.
one. They haven't kissed by the second one starting. I'm just thinking how insane it is that that Troy does bet on it over someone that he's not even winched.
tearing his hair out with anxiety about this lassie he's held hands with.
You.
I was about to say,
Thanks.
all been there.
Yeah, I'm still there.
I've been mostly.
But instead, they swap numbers, thinking, of course, they'll never see each other again. Troy turns round after taking a selfie on Gabriella's phone, hands it back to her. She disappears into the night. And that is, we think, that. But no. First day back at school. We're now in New Mexico. That's where it's
Such a bizarre.
Albuquerque.
Yeah, brilliant. Literally same. I do think it. I think it's fun to have a headcanon that both the High School Musical series and Breaking Bad all
Exist in the
all
same
in
universe. Yeah.
And then The Walking Dead as well, because there's connections between that and Breaking Bad in a jokey way. So I love the idea that they either all become meth heads or zombies by the end. But
I'd
yeah,
have loved it if there were just like extras in the background of stick to the status quo that are just like meth heads.
I wonder if the decision to go to New Mexico was anything other than it was cheaper to film there. Because that's the
Yeah,
exact reason that
probably.
Breaking Bad set there, other than LA. Because it's much cheaper to film in New Mexico compared to LA, and conditions are kind of similar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's much cheaper. So I guess that's what it is. They also
Yeah.
were like, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Jesse Pinkman's making creme brulee.
No, it's just all the people who actually participate in High School Musical think he's making creme brulee, but he's doing something completely different. A little flame, a little
absolutely.
blowtorch.
Oh my god, yeah, I love the idea that Walter White is actually a teacher at that school, and he just fed up. He's, can you stop singing? We've got a chemistry final coming up. Gabriella, you're meant to be my main gal. What's going on? Oh,
But yeah, so they're at school. First day, we're in Miss Darbus's class. Miss Darbus is this overbearing, like, drama teacher who they have Reggie with, apparently.
Reggie,
Yeah, Reggie.
Reggie, registration.
form class
Form class.
sounds better than Reggie.
You called it form.
Well,
Form class.
Some people called it Reggie, but I called it
Were
form.
you not on time for form class this morning, bro?
I didn't say it like that.
Form
It
class.
sounds better than Reggie.
It's Reggie.
It's Reggie.
Nah, it's form. Anyway.
It's so bitchy.
Got the little nail check.
Yeah, it's form.
A flash, like, image of what it would have been like to be bullied by you in school.
No, it's form.
Nah, babe, it's form.
Check yourself.
Anyway, so Gabriella's sitting up the back of the class. Troy walks in, meets his best friend Chad. Chad likes basketball. That's it.
Yeah.
That is Chad's character
That is
development in
Chad,
the first
full
film.
stop. Likes basketball. Kind of an asshole.
Yeah. Talking about Miss Darbus, I do genuinely think she's like a D-list version of what's her name? Famous actress.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep, yes. She's like D-list Meryl Streep, which is a compliment.
I guess.
How funny would it be though if I had to recast this?
Just to stick Meryl Streep in
Meryl
as Miss
Streep.
Darbus.
Miss Darbus.
Oscar bait High School Musical.
Oh, that's a good one. So I'd still have Zac Efron as Troy, but older.
Yeah,
Oh, actually,
well.
would I? He's too old now.
Timothy Chalamet.
Okay. All right. Timmy C.
Timothy Chalamet is Chad.
Yeah, like
No, Timothy Chalamet is Ryan.
Yeah.
That would be the
yeah.
real casting.
yeah.
that'd be good.
Or if he was Chad, it'd be like his role in Don't Look Up. You see in that one, he's just
Yeah,
that burnout. That'd be so a Chad vibe we could do.
Or he'd be one of like the skateboard kids who are clearly meant to be stoners, but he's the one that plays the cello.
Yeah. No, I would definitely. yeah, no, Meryl Streep gets in there, and you know what? Screw it. We're going big. We're going bold. It's a High School Musical remake. Meryl Streep playing Miss Darbus, and everyone else is played by Muppets. That is going to be the first Muppets movie to win an Academy Award because Meryl Streep will do it.
High School Muppets.
High School Muppets.
Muppets did win an Academy Award.
Did it?
For Best Original Song.
Am I
a man or am I a Muppet? I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure.
No, yeah. I actually had like a bit of a renaissance with the Muppets as well. I used to detest.
You can't talk about the Muppets and be like,
I've often been
I've
quoted.
had a bit of a renaissance with the Muppets.
Well, can I give context to that statement? I'm gonna. So the context of that statement, I liked the Muppets when I was younger, then hated them, and then was just like, and now I actually love the Muppets. So I'm just
That was great.
right. We can cut this out. Right, fine. Back to mere plot, wee boy. Jesus Christ.
Troy walks in, he sees a girl that looks an awful lot like Gabriella, and then he tries phoning her, and her phone goes off. Miss Darbus loses the plot, everyone's phones get confiscated, but it confirms Gabriella is now at school with Troy, which throws him into a bit of a quandary, let's just say, because no one can know
No what?
that he sang.
That no one can know that you got forced into karaoke and sang it.
No one can know
at a
about the
party.
singing.
No one can know about the singing karaoke at a New Year party because
Oh.
that's just outrageous.
Oh my God.
No, yeah, right. Jesus. Yeah.
And that's kind of the theme of this whole thing. Troy is so self-centered that he thinks that if people find out that he likes to sometimes sing, that it will bring about the end of days, apparently.
Well, it makes sense though, because if you see his kind of family situation, his dad is pretty much like, I will disown you if you do not win basketball.
Yeah, that's how you remember High School Musical, and then you watch it again, and everyone's pretty all right with him singing. I think that they maybe say like, "Oh man, you keep missing basketball."
Yeah, it's like
could you mind not missing basketball for your singing? Like try and 50-50
balance it.
And then he's like, "Yeah, I do sing, I do," and they're like, "Yeah, we know,
we know.
just."
It's not even the
balance it.
basketball thing. I think basically the idea is that he's probably a bit thick. So like his dad's like, look, if you want to go to college, the best chance you have is like playing basketball because you get a basketball scholarship.
Yeah.
So the dad's just like wants his kid to get to college, you know?
Yeah, you want to do
And
well.
he's like, listen, man, you fancy this girl, fair play, but you're not a singer, you're not an actor, you've never shown an interest in this in your life. You've got 1.5 years of school left. We've worked your entire life to get you a basketball scholarship because you're dumb as fuck and there's no other way you're gonna get into a good school.
Yeah.
You can't do a play.
Yeah.
It's basically Swanny.
Excuse me. I'm not dumb as fuck though.
I don't think that anyone is having a reaction to Troy singing as much as they are to the practical issues of
Yes.
being involved in a play that will take
Yeah.
your time up all
Look,
the time.
his dad
Yeah.
is basically just like, Troy, you can't balance your life out. So you got two options here, son. You either basketball, college, or you go cook meth with Walter White, with Mr. White. That's your two options. There's nothing else for you here. But I think I kind of probably err more towards your side, Claude. Like it's just work-life balance.
He sorts it by the end. He does the play. And he
then he
plays
does basketball. and then we get to the next film, and he's still doing both. But they're all singing songs while they play basketball more now. Yeah, you just need to balance it.
So they meet, they realize that, they're both at the same school, and then they see the sign-up sheet for the musical, and they both have like a little, oh no, I couldn't, I'm too shy. Or that singing was a one-time thing.
Oh,
No,
it's such
it
an
wouldn't be
plot
me.
contrivance. It's like, we know we're going to do a musical with you guys. Can we just get there? But the good thing with that little plot deviation is then we get to focus on some of the other characters.
Enter Sharpay.
Yes. Played by
Ashley
Tisdale.
Ashley Tisdale. Sharpay's just like at 100 all the time.
Oh yeah, she's just like,
And
she's
like
like all the
that's-
mean girls put into one.
But she's not even like, because the thing is, Sharpay's not a mean girl because no one, like, she's not popular.
Yeah, she's not got
playing-
pals.
She's like a
Her
theatre
only
nerd.
pal is her brother.
Her
Oh
only
my
pal is her
God.
brother. She's not popular.
And
You're
this
so
is
right.
where my argument comes in about, I think that she was done totally dirty the entire franchise.
Yeah, she's actually Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
She's got her thing.
Yeah, she's done it really well.
And these two like wanks have just showed up, and they're like, "Oh, we love each other. We love singing together." And she's like, "Yeah, but I've poured my like soul into this. I just want this to be my thing. Is that okay?" And they're like, "Nah, we're just like, I want my scholarship and my basketball and my cute girlfriend and to steal your play." And no, I don't agree with it.
Sharpay is literally giving it, "Don't play in my profession."
Do you know actually who the real villain of all this is?
It's Vanessa Hudgens.
Well, yes, but no, Miss Darbus. It's like, oh, you've now got, instead of just, okay, think about it from this. Every year she's been putting these plays on, the only really talent she's got is Sharpay and Ryan, right? So everything's been built around two leads or two big performances, right? So suddenly when more people come in, it's suddenly, oh, who's going to get it? Why doesn't just Miss Darbus go, you know what, screw it. All of you are going to be, the four of you can be leads. Do you know what I mean? We'll do a different thing. Why don't we just do a different play?
Well, she doesn't know at this point that like this is just a sign-up sheet. She just expects
Yes,
Sharpay.
I'm just meaning generally.
Yeah, I mean maybe that's how they managed to get to the end of high school without some sort of murder-suicide pact taking place. Yeah. That's how they all made it to college. But yeah, so obviously Sharpay just starts losing the rag completely at the idea that anybody else might sign up for the musical. So to try and get ahead of things, she does a bit of Googling. She does a Bella Swan. What are vampires? She finds out that Gabriella's like
pale skin,
super genius. And she prints off her academical transcript. Academical?
Academical.
Academical.
Academic transcript.
She prints off her academic transcripts and she puts it through this girl Taylor's locker. And Taylor is like the head of the mathletes. She's like the top, but also she's like the top like genius girl at the school, right? But she doesn't get threatened by Gabriella.
No,
she's like buzzing. She's like, oh yeah, another really smart girl to join our team and further all of our
the only time she gets threatened with Gabriella is once again when Gabriella can't get that balance of her fucking social life.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yes, you're so smart, amazing, we needed a new mathlete, this is going to be great, oh, another girl, fuck, brilliant. And then she's like, but boys and singing. And she's like, yeah, that's cool, but remember the other things that you're doing, the commitments you've made. And they just don't.
This is the thing. It's
There's
like
no discipline.
This is like the old person's review of High School Musical. If they all just figured out how to work their schedules and manage their workload and have some discipline and stick to their commitments, there would have been no singing, no dancing, everything would have been fine.
Very ironic that we're saying this on our first podcast back after 3 months.
We couldn't do it. We couldn't balance it.
Yeah.
Essentially, though, like what you have is what could have happened is that Sharpay and Ryan could have done their play. Mm-hmm. Troy could have won the Wildcats basketball league, whatever you call it, and Gabriella could have won the thing for the mathletes, and then everybody wins, and then they can all still hang out. Why is that not the option?
I don't know.
I think
Because they're dramatic. They have a passion that has to be expressed through
and
song.
also, because everyone's so entrenched in their weird passions, it's also gone into the adults as well. Like, what's his name? Troy's dad, who is the basketball coach, for some reason has this hatred towards
the drama club.
Miss Darbus.
Miss Darbus. So like it's
the
almost
sexual tension between the two
palpable.
of them is unreal.
Palpable, but it's just like as a result of that, the big basketball game or tryout or whatever it is happening the same time as the musical callbacks, and it's like, guys, you're the adults here. Clearly, all the kids are wanting to try different things. Clearly, they're struggling to balance this life out, this work, this extracurricular stuff. Why don't you just do the auditions a different day? why don't we just do that? You know?
There are children literally like doing like high tech. Like, there's a point in this film where they're doing something with the basketball clock thing that looks kind of like an act of terror. There's people like crying and singing to life-size portraits of each other, and like, you know, a fight broke out in the school cafeteria. Could you just move the auditions to a day that's not the basketball game?
Clearly, it's destroying the social cohesion of this high school. Clearly, you've been building up a ticking time bomb. There you go. It's blown up. Everything's shit. Why don't you sort it? They
but also, what we're forgetting is that like this is coming from a guy who took 3 films to kiss this lassie that is clearly obsessed with him. Mm-hmm. The reason that everyone's so bothered about being in this play is because it's how they can flirt with the person they like
Yes.
without actually having to do it.
Apart from
That's why I did drama.
yeah, right. That's why I did drama. That's how I got. That's why because I did a musical in school and met my first proper girlfriend through that. Like literally being the leads in a school musical. So the only people that are actually in it for the right reasons
Or Sharpay
are
and
Sharpay
Ryan.
and Ryan, the
They're
villains.
doing it for the love of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
Whereas
And
they're doing
also probably because they have incredibly pushy parents.
yes, yeah.
Okay, so Taylor now knows that Gabriella's smart. She's like, join the mathletes. Now she's got another commitment she's wrapped up in as well. The school play seems unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
We go to basketball practice with Troy and the boys, and we get your head in the game. Another really solid tune.
Excellent.
And the
Excellent.
choreography is
The
amazing.
choreography is probably the best in that one.
Yeah, I
It's
think
really
so. And
good.
the sound effect and everything, like the design of like
The squeaking
the
shoes.
squeaking shoes, the basketballs dribbling and the
Yeah.
beat. It's excellent. And you can really, like, when you hear that this is the guy that choreographed Dirty Dancing, that makes so much sense. But especially because of bigger scenes. Have you seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah.
Right. Do you know? Because obviously there's not a lot of musical in that,
Yeah.
but there's that big one with it's the Beatles song that they do. Was it Shake It? What's the name of the song? Shake it, oh baby, now shake it.
Twist and shout.
Twist and shout. Yeah, yeah, it's twist and shout. That's amazing, brilliant piece of choreography. One of my favorite sequences in the whole film. And see when you notice that it's that guy, you're
makes
just like,
sense.
oh, absolutely, the line is there. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It's one of the best. It's one of the best sequences. The song's catchy as well. It is very lame.
It's so lame,
Like
so
it's
painfully
ridiculous, but lame. But there is something that.
Why do I feel so wrong? My head's in the game, but my heart's in the song.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, when the spotlight comes into them. Get your head in the game.
Should I go for it?
That's what it's like being a teenager. You think the whole world revolves around you.
Yeah.
You think when you're playing basketball that like you're having this inner dramatic monologue. But also, speaking of lame and this song, when I was younger, I thought the funniest bit of patter in the whole world was like every time we were playing a board game at Christmas, I would balance the board game on my head and sing "Get Your Head in the Game." And it was never funny and no one ever laughed. But like every single time I did it, I was like, this is the time. This is the time it's going to be an absolute crowd pleaser. Everyone's going to be rolling on the floor laughing.
Oh, pal.
And it was just as lame as it was the last time.
Oh. How
No
many
laughs.
times did you do
Crickets, mama. So many times. I just kept thinking, like, this group of people's going to find it funny. And it just was so awkward.
I'd laugh. I'm actually getting sad thinking about this.
You really had to commit to the bit as well, and then I'd just be standing with like Cluedo on my head.
That
and
would have
everyone's
got
just
a-
like blinking at me.
that? That would have got a from me.
This is another one of Abby's stories of our childhood that just makes me sad. You had a pretty
Buckle
nice
up. This is
childhood,
called
but
High School Musical. There's gonna be a lot more where that came
I can
from.
imagine. Thing is, by all accounts, you had a very nice childhood, but every time you talk about it, I just feel like, oh, that sounds really sad. And
Yeah, and a great childhood, but I was fucking pathetic.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That is the vibe.
yeah.
Okay, so basketball practice is done. Troy's dad, we should probably discuss for a minute. There's a kind of like theory. Somebody worked out that he was about 35 when this film was filmed.
The dad,
Yeah.
Okay.
he looks older. He looks good,
He is young.
but he doesn't look 35.
But basically, they kind of worked out that like he would have been almost, if you did the ages, would have been like 18 when Troy was born.
He's not 35.
So someone was like, well, that kind of lends maybe more of an idea to why he's so like trying to push Troy to live out his dreams. Like maybe he never got to be the basketball star, which is funny because that takes you full
17
circle
again?
to 17 again.
Oh, oh, no wonder the cast. No, don't. I hate that film. I'm getting flashbacks to that. Oh.
Also, worth mentioning, the dad is hot.
The dad is hot.
Dad's he's a good looking guy.
He is a very good looking guy. Also, I might be wrong, and if I am, we can cut this out. But I'm pretty sure our friends at the FT podcast, my friend David from work, I'm pretty sure he interviewed the guy who played Troy's dad on
Really?
the podcast. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. Jealous. Yeah. We could never get away with doing something like that. We would not have enough.
Nobody would want to
Chill.
sit for that long.
No.
I think you could make it work. I think you'd get a bit frustrated with me, but I think you could pull it off.
That's very self-aware.
Yes.
Anyway,
It's also so
He's learning.
yes, but it's also so I'm saying that so then you set it up and then I can actually just come in and do what I need to do and just like, yes, I'm actually here and I'm great.
Then we get to one of my sort of favourite bits of the film. So everyone's in detention because they had phones and they're all like painting set and stuff like that.
Okay, see if she didn't do that. See that they hadn't done the phone thing. Who's painting the set?
They have a sort of free child labour situation going on.
Yeah.
I think she would have found any reason to get them in detention.
Yeah, okay.
And the coach comes in and he's like, Darvis, what are my 2 players doing sitting in a tree?
What are they in a tree for? That's a very funny. He does, his line delivery is great.
Yeah.
He really nails it. He's good.
He is. But this starts off this kind of like tension. Troy is again reminded that he's not allowed to be involved in anything that's not basketball. So the auditions roll around and Troy does a bit of James Bond and Goldfinger-esque level of the most conspicuous sneaking around.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, because he's like, is he not like, does he
Is
not
he
steal
behind a mop bucket?
He steals a janitor's little mop cart and he's just standing
It's
there.
the same janitor from 17 again.
I actually thought it was and I was about to say, no, it's not. Stop. But it could be.
Yeah, he's like trying to sneak about, like hiding behind this mop cart.
And no, the creak is as he's going about, and you're like, mate, just take a seat in the back and
walk
wear a
in.
hoodie.
Sit at
Just
the
put a
back.
hoodie on.
Yeah, it's a massive darkened auditorium. No one on stage can see you because the lights are shining on them, except for the fact that you're just trying to make it look like this random mop cart has like rolled into an empty space completely of its own accord. If anything, that's going to catch attention.
Yeah, everyone would be like, mop carts on the list. What's going on?
And also
whoa,
he's like,
wild mop cart. Can we stop this? Who's moving that? Davey the janitor's gone home. Who's moving that? Whoa, alarm's going off.
Ghosts.
Ghosts.
you can't try and be sneaky like that around a high school. If someone's looking around, that's going to attract some unwanted attention.
Yeah.
But also, he's just like ducking and diving and hiding behind doors, and like this random extra walks across the set, and he's like, "Oh my god, she almost saw me." She doesn't even know who he is, realistically. No one gives a fuck what he's up to.
Is Troy Bolton just a huge narcissist?
Yes.
Completely.
Is everyone in this film just a huge narcissist?
Yes.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Probably.
Except for Ryan.
Yeah.
Sharpay and Ryan audition with the song "What I've Been Looking For." Nail it.
Yep.
Great performance from them. Tight. It's good. Good performance.
Yeah.
Last call for, well, actually we get a kind of host of like really sort of bobic performances first. A host of weirdos doing weird things. Sharpay and Ryan come in, smash it, no competition. And then Miss Darbus is like, does anyone else want to audition? No hands go up. And then just to be the most insipid, annoying. Oh, me? No, I could never. Oh, no, I do want to audition, actually. Yeah, that's why I came here in the first place. Why else would I be here if not to audition?
This is Troy saying this, right?
It's Troy and Gabriella.
Yeah.
She appears first and is like, I would like to have a go. And Miss Darbus, just to be a bitch, basically.
There's no more
too
solo
late.
auditions.
Yeah, no, it's too late. I said last chance and no one said anything. It's like, she said like 20 seconds later. Just,
It was not about as well. She's like, no more solo auditions, and he's like, oh, and Troy's like, I'll do it.
I think she's like, but it's anyway, it's duet.
Yeah, it's a whole.
Even though there was
stupid-
definitely people auditioning as a soloist.
and also
Yeah.
based on the
Moments
caliber,
ago.
the caliber of the auditions, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot for any quality to this show if you don't.
Yeah, what kind of director is like, I just want like a couple of good people and everyone else can be shite? Nobody wants that.
No.
You want as many good people as
Yeah,
possible.
and like, you know, it's fucking High School Musical. Like it's like, oh yeah,
are you a student at this high school? Can he be in the play?
Can't even play. Oh, you were a bit late and you were all feeling a bit nervous about auditioning, getting out of your comfort zone. Fuck you. Back in your box, back to the court. That's what it's like. You're like, mate, like,
Back in your fucking lab.
get in your lane, get in your lab, get in your life.
Her ability to hide how she feels when the shit people have been auditioning is something akin to Claude's ability to hide her facial expressions. Like, there's just somebody just like doing like interpretive dance to the music, and she's like, that was disturbing. But yeah, so they did a song, a much softer, like slower, less choreographed version.
It's
Everyone
objectively
is-
shitter.
Yeah, it's not as good.
Gotta
It's
say
not
it.
as good. To be honest,
The reason why they've done it is that they've just decided, is this when they do it with the piano lassie? And,
Yeah.
and the directors said, no auditions, and then they go and sing anyway.
yeah.
I actually do prefer that version, to be fair.
As a performance, not so much.
Yes. As
The
a
music
song,
is probably
yeah,
nicer.
yeah. It's more emotional.
Yeah.
So I like it in that sense. Although, you know, give Sharpay and Ryan their flowers. Theirs was the more complete
they
package.
put the work in.
Yeah, they put
Yeah.
the fucking...
Anyway,
What would I rather listen to in the car? Obviously Sharpay's version. Any day of the week.
I don't know if that's true for me, though, because I just... What's the song? How's it go again? How's the song go?
it's hard to believe
that I couldn't see.
See, you're clicking along with it. The Sharpay one has a click. It
Oh,
it
yeah,
needs
so
a click.
the other one doesn't have a click?
No,
No.
it's
Yeah.
not a. It's
So how do they
it's
do
like
it?
a.
It's like...
It's just quiet and like piano. It's just a
Ba,
bit.
ba,
It's just a bit
ba,
insipid.
Ba, 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 da, ba, ba.
Yeah,
It's
a
not
bit
their
insipid.
strongest. They get so many better
Yeah.
songs
Yeah,
than this.
it's
No.
100%.
Anyway,
I think it's that bit.
It's-
I always
it's
like.
not
I just
breaking
liked how
free.
lame it was. I like the...
It's not start something new.
No.
It's not that.
next day, callbacks lists go up.
Callbacks list.
I actually got to live this moment where just
We all got
and
to live this moment.
But this is where I get Miss Darby's being so ridiculous, because if I was a high school teacher, I feel like I would also want to lean into the madness of like a school play. But like I remember from my school musical, which I literally, because of this, like trained for from like the age of 8, I was like practicing lead songs from all the musicals that could possibly be the musical when I was in 6th year of high school. Honestly, if I hadn't got it, I think I maybe would have like been ill.
Yeah.
But it was me and this other girl who were up for the main part, Audrey and Little Shop of Horrors, and they were like, we're going to post the cast list at lunchtime. We'd gone through rigorous callbacks that week, dance and singing callbacks. I deliberately threw my dance callback because I knew she was a stronger dancer. So I was like, they'll give her the dance part because I can't dance.
And they did.
They did.
You nailed it. No, so similar
But-
similar
so-
story. All right, you go first.
They had the callback list up and they put it at the bottom of the music corridor, but they closed the doors to the music corridor, so we all gathered in the main corridor. And then exactly when the bell rang at 1, they opened the doors and we went running down, and there's like, they took a picture of me like, like reading the callback and put it on the school Twitter.
Can you please find that
I
picture?
have gone to the bottom of my school's Twitter trying to find this picture because it was like wiped on my old phone and I can't find it anywhere. If you went to Belmont Academy and you have this photo of someone on your phone, please send it to me because it's
Yeah.
very, very cute. It's like me and all my friends and everyone's like, ah.
That's so cute.
Um,
so
But yeah,
Ma-
they
Are you
did
getting
not- they did
teary?
not need
no,
to do
not
that.
this time. Not this time. No, maybe, but not really. Leave me alone.
A suggestion you're not even aware of it sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm maybe just like so emotionally invested. So no, my kind of because same thing happened with me, although mine's is funnier in the sense that
Okay.
no, mine's is funnier in the sense that it's a joke on me. So basically, what happened was we hadn't had musicals in our school for years, right? And in my 4th year, just when High School Musical had come out, that's a weird coincidence, I guess, or just before it. No, because I'm 12. Bullshit. A couple of years after. Anyway, they did Grease, right? So I went to go see it because there was a girl in it that I fancied. So of course I went to go see Grease, even though I didn't really care about musicals at that point. Enjoyed it. But the thing I remember is there was a guy in it who was like, he was a bit of an asshole. He was a bit of like a stereotypical bully, and he was kind of like a bit older in his last year, and he was like kind of like a Ned basically, and kind of had that vibe. But he played the comedy character in Grease, Eugene, and he was so good because he just came on, and you were like, oh, that was that guy, and then he was just really funny, and it was a funny vibe. I went, oh. Right, you know what? If I was ever to do anything one of those, I'd love to just be the wee comedy guy at the side that comes on and just does something silly. I
And
was
then
like,
you decided to do that for the rest of your life.
yeah. Well, no, but here's the funny thing. Absolutely, that inspired me. So when we were doing Disco Inferno the next year, I was like, cool. I want to be a wee silly.
Wait,
fun
you were
ca-
in Disco Inferno?
Abby, I was the lead in Disco Inferno. They cast me as the lead in Disco Inferno, and I couldn't sing. I can sing a bit better now. Even then, I can't sing that well. Then I couldn't sing. They cast me because
Are there videos of this?
I hope not. Yeah, because I went in And, I was just being all, oh, yeah, cool. Oh, I want to do all this. Thinking I'll get a wee side part. And they're like, hey, we want you to be the lead. And I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, the cast list came up. It was like, Jumping Jack Flash, Callum Swan. And I was like, oh, shit. so then that's, yeah. And then I ended up doing it. It was a lot of fun.
My high school was not the kind of place that would do musicals. It was like the most violent high school in Glasgow for like 20 years or something like that. So there was no chance that was ever happening.
Jesus Christ.
Musical, it's just not at high school.
Yeah, not at high school. God, no. We had a stage as well. We had like a really like a pretty decent stage in my school, but they just couldn't use it for anything.
It's a bit of a riot.
They didn't have any musicals, didn't have any plays. Not even in, like, we obviously had a whole drama department because it's school, and never used the stage. Because
we didn't have a drama department, weirdly.
That's weird. See, we had a drama department, but I never took drama.
Whoa.
No, right? I wasn't allowed to. My parents would deny that, but they would not allow me to. They were like, no, you have to. You can only take one.
Because they knew what would happen.
Yes, they're like, you can only take one fun subject.
Troy Bolton you.
Yeah, they're like, you can only take one fun subject.
What one did you pick?
I think I don't even know what it was. Maybe it
Did
was
you pick
like
it because a girl you fancied was in that class?
maybe. I think maybe in PE. I think I did PE so I could do more PE and like just hang out. But they made me take like biology, chemistry, and then history and geography, which I enjoyed all, apart from chemistry.
Okay.
I tried my best. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Sorry.
So, callback list goes up. Sharpay lets out a scream that only dogs can hear. Everyone's raging. Things are not good. This is set off some kind of like social unrest. Like you would think there was some kind of like political thing happening in the school.
Yeah, it's like a revolution.
Like people really care about this shit. It started off a chain reaction of people who are in one group or another group starting to speak up about an interest they have that maybe doesn't quite fit with their brand in the school.
Well, it's just it comes to probably the best choreographed of the dance numbers, other than the basketball one.
Yeah.
Because I love the song as well.
Stick to the status quo.
Yeah, stick to
The Status Quo is a good song, but I wouldn't say it's the best choreographed. I don't think it's better than Get Your Head in the Game.
And the idea
maybe it's
basically
tight.
is
Maybe,
that
you're right. Maybe because the choreography in that is tighter. It's all, they do it really well. Whereas it's a bit more, you're dealing with extras who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah, okay, fair. But that song's great.
So it just all kicks off. You get people from different cliques basically standing up and saying like, here's a secret passion I have that I've never shared with anyone. And now that, Troy and Gabriella have put their necks out and done something they love, I now feel emboldened to speak up about my thing.
And the crowd, and everyone's just like, cringe, sit down, shut the fuck up.
Which is very...
You make cakes? Fuck you, man. No, you don't.
So this brings me to...
It's like Claude school.
Literally. This brings me to how High School Musical changed my life, because in this song there is a girl called Martha Cox.
Yes.
She is in the Brainiacs decathlon team. She likes to dance. And she gets up on the table and she's like, hip hop is my passion. This is the first role I ever played in anything, because I was a huge High School Musical fan. I was leaving a swimming lesson with my stepdad because I couldn't go swimming in normal lessons because they made me take my goggles off once and I had a meltdown. And as we were leaving the community centre...
They made you take your goggles off?
My goggles snapped and she said, stick your head under the water anyway. And the chlorine got in my eyes and I had probably a panic attack. And then my stepdad was like, okay, you don't have to go back to swimming lessons. I'll just teach you how to swim, because he was a PE teacher. Anyway, so we were leaving the community centre and there's a flyer. It says High School Musical, which catches my eye. And it was for a summer camp where you would perform High School Musical. And I went on holiday with my parents to Turkey. And in addition to the High School Musical t-shirts and everything that I had, I also that summer bought, like the kind of like sarong things with the coins on them that you would get like on holiday in Turkey at a stall. And I was like, this is very fashionable. I'm going to wear this all the time. It was very loud. It made a very loud noise and it moved. And having been completely away from other children my own age for a week and a half, I was like... pretty full of my own confidence, convinced I was going to come back to school that year, a new girl. really
I mean, I
had
talked about
built
this.
myself up in my head. So I was like, I'm going to go to this High School Musical thing. And obviously, I've been rehearsing for nothing every morning, so I know High School Musical inside out. Clearly, I'm going to walk straight into this scenario and get Gabriella. Walk in 10 minutes late because I couldn't find the right room, and everyone's already a group because they'd all been going to these like weekly classes every Saturday, and they all know each other, and the teacher knows everyone, and I'm completely new, and I walk in wearing heels, a skirt that like literally sounds like a loose coin purse every time I move, and a High School Musical vest, top, and jacket. It's like pink and gold. And I'm just like so mortified with myself. The whole room is like full of mirrors, and everyone's just looking at me like, who the fuck is this chick? And I'm like trying to like walk in because they're already all sitting around the teacher listening, and it's like clink, 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 and I just wanted to die.
Fucking Jangles the clown comes in.
I got the part of Martha Cox, not Gabriella, because obviously it went to someone who'd been going to these drama classes for years. And my stepdad picked me up and was like, did you get the main part? And I was like, no. And he started making fun of me, and I kicked him in the leg and I got grounded. But that is how I started doing drama, which is what led me to do drama in school and then drama at uni. And I wouldn't have met you guys if I hadn't done drama. So this is my theory that High School Musical changed the course of my life.
Yeah, I can see that.
It both projected me forward and also humbled me very deeply on that first day. I went in too strong, and it to the point where even into my late teenage years, my mum, if I was like getting a bit too over enthusiastic about something before I started a new thing, like when I started high school and went in with 3 pencil cases, and was like, just make sure you're not doing what you did the first day you went to Pace. Remember, with the skirt and the noise and the 3 High School Musical t-shirts on at the same time. Just maybe, I know you're excited. Dial it back a bit. Build up to that. There was a lot of crying in my house that night. I was devastated, but I did my first show and I really enjoyed it, and it was great. And kind of full circle, when we were trying to promote my school musical, I decided that, much like Stick to the Status Quo, we would do a flash mob in the school cafeteria.
Yeah, see, that would never have went down at my school, man. Everyone would have been...
The first shooting in Glasgow that happened that day.
We had this atrium where everyone was having lunch, and the idea was in the last 5 minutes we would all stand up on the table and start singing the big number, the big group number.
Was it just you that did it?
No, there was other people.
No, I mean, did everyone else chicken out of it? It was just you?
No, like the other people in the musical still did it, but really ultimately there was like 200 people in the cafeteria just having their lunch, and there was about 20 of us that were involved in this musical number, and the music teacher who was playing the piano was like, we had this open plan atrium, so it was like different levels. She was like upstairs at the top with this keyboard, and obviously in the actual noisy hall, which we couldn't practice it in those conditions because it was a flash mob. We couldn't hear the music, so nobody knew when it had started, and we were all dotted around throughout the atrium. So we were just standing on these tables, like starting to sing, but it was not obvious what was happening because it was just lunch, and like 3 miles away, someone with a keyboard that no one could hear. And we tried to do a flash mob, but we were all dotted around at different tables, so we all were singing different parts of the song because no one knew when it had started. And everyone was just looking at us like, what the fuck is going on? And then this girl, it turned out, we hadn't realised, because it was like a few days before the first night of the play, which is why we were doing it then. It's actually Children in Need Day, and our school hadn't done anything to raise money for charity. So then people got on Twitter and they were like, so you can do a flash mob for this shit school play, but we can't raise money for children in need.
That's so fucking funny.
Oh my fucking god. Whose fucking idea was it to do a flash mob in a high school, man?
Honestly,
you're not in High School Musical. You're in Air.
Fuck.
I actually can't even remember what it was like in that moment because I think I've blocked it.
Yeah, you had to. Like,
I think we gave up halfway through because we were just everyone was just
didn't give
singing
up. You just didn't know what you were in the song.
But also, it wasn't even that. Like people were like had different parts. They'd chime in at different parts, and I'm like watching the person who sings after me start to sing, and I'm like, I'm not at the same part of the song. Oh, it's just so bad. And like my friends who were all trying to be really supportive were just like slowly like walking away, like going outside. We're like,
how old were you when this was happening?
A few months shy of 18.
Oh God, the cringe will be even worse now because you're actually like, no,
Less than a year before I met you.
oh, what was I doing at that
Oh,
point?
Jesus,
What
man.
year was that then? 20.
Just the very tail end of 2015.
That was when I was in. That was when
You're just fresh to the world, aren't you?
that was when I was in Drip Road. That's when I was living in Drip Road. That's when all that stuff was going on.
I had a steep and very difficult learning curve.
Oh, it's so funny. Do you know who's the real person again? It's the drama teacher. It's the person in charge of that. They should have known, well, that's not going to be heard. We should actually
It should have
practice
been
that.
like, yeah, we're in a secondary school in Scotland. There's no way that a flash
Also,
mob would ever be a good idea.
We did 4 nights of every play, and every single person's parents came and saw it. My school only did a play every 2 years, right? So it was always a huge deal whenever there was a school show. Everyone went. The tickets were genuinely, if not already completely sold out. Would definitely they had never not sold out a night of the school show.
Of course.
We didn't have to market or promote it. It was just.
Look, it's like a good idea on paper, and then
Could have
when-
just had someone come on the intercom and
Or
be
we
like,
could have had someone just hold out a bucket for children in need at the end, and it would have seemed like it was for charity, and it would sort of have been excusable.
nope.
yeah.
It was
Anyway.
so bad. Anyway,
Plot.
moving on. Taylor, Gabriella's friend in the science team,
You said Taylor. Like, who the fuck is
and
Taylor? Her friend.
Chad,
Yes.
basketball that guy, Troy's best friend, form an unlikely duo. They
Yes.
team up for some over-convoluted plan. Chad throughout this has been wearing like 3 watches at all times on his wrist. And at one point,
The clothing attire of Chad is a bewildering, a bewildering
I just
tale
can't
unto
think why
itself.
he would need 3 watches, apart from in this moment where she's like, are we ready? Is the plan in motion? And he like checks all of his watches. He's like, yep, I've got the time. The guy's insane. But they do this plan where she's in the science lab, Gabriella is with Taylor. Chad emotionally manipulates Troy. He gathers the entire team together. They give this big speech about how he's like failing them all and he's not being a good team leader because he's missed like 2 basketball rehearsals.
Yeah.
Practices.
rehearsal.
Shut up.
No, I would say the same thing.
And they're like, all these players who were team captains, you're letting all of them down, but mostly you're letting him down. It's like a picture of his dad when he was younger.
No, yeah, because they go apart, and then there's like a shrine to the dad. How long's that been there
and
for?
they've all rehearsed
The
it.
dad put it there. I'm telling you right now,
They
the
all start
dad.
chanting at the same time. They're like, Wildcats, get your head in the game. It's intense.
Yeah, it's
And Troy
very
basically
intense.
has a breakdown where he's like, yeah, obviously you guys are my team. Yeah, of course this is my life.
Yeah.
Gabriella, who? You're right. I should be focused more on this.
I shouldn't be dancing and singing, but again, suspension of disbelief, sure, but it is still really funny to have these guys be like, yeah, don't dance and sing after they just pulled off the best choreographed dance sequence in the whole film. You're like, mate, you all right?
I mean, they literally do a dance number called I Don't,
Don't
dance,
Dance.
in the second one.
Oh, fuck.
But this is all being live streamed. Weirdly, oddly, seems ahead of its time in
Oh,
that
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
To
yeah.
Gabriella in the science lab after they're basically like, you're a bad feminist because you fancy Troy.
Yeah.
You're like, look at all these Rosa Parks. What the fuck does Rosa Parks have to do with it?
You're like Rosa Parks. Oh yeah, she never had a family. Yeah, she did. Like, what are you talking
Rosa
about?
Parks never would have auditioned for the school play. What?
What are you saying?
Yeah, that's so.
So they live stream Troy's little like dismissal of Gabriella, and then she has just she just falls apart. She's gutted. She gives the hopelessly devoted to you in Greece of this musical. It's called When There Was Me and You. She sings this really sad ballad.
That's pish.
I like this one, right?
Give me a lyric.
I don't remember how it
Give me
goes, to
one
be
lyric.
honest.
There you go.
I know
Move
all
on.
the lyrics. I can pick one.
You suck. Sorry, Karen. That will definitely peak. Oh, that was funny. I actually thought I caught you there. I was like, yes, you don't know this one, but no, you were just like, there's too many. There's all there.
She starts singing to this massive cut. I've referenced this in so many of our podcast episodes as well because this is just such a thing in my mind. But like she's singing and dancing through these corridors alone, and at one point she starts singing to genuinely the full wall is a mural of Troy Bolton's face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is why This is why this guy's freaking out. This is why he's got the biggest ego ever.
Yeah.
They've got like the whole wall of this high
But
school.
no wonder he's freaking out looking to do something else. He's like, man, I've been groomed to basically to be the best basketball captain for years. I was a kid. I'm still a kid. And now the pressure's on because they've spent about 40 grand making this wall and everything's there.
Shrine to me.
My dad's hanging on to his mental sanity by a thread. And
Yeah,
that
the
thread
dad's
is-
paid for all of it. He's like,
it's all happened. And then no wonder he's absolutely. No wonder he's freaking out.
But obviously Gabriella's devastated because he said some not nice things about her.
Gabriella's such a pick me though.
she is.
Like she's like we've not really talked a lot about her, but just her general vibe just seems to be this. Oh,
She's got a wee bit of a wee nasty streak in her.
she does.
Oh yeah, because she seems all sweet and innocent.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then
But
every now and then she'll like say something to Sharpay that's just kind of
Yeah,
like,
Yes.
Sharpay signs her name on the additions sheet, and Gabriella's like, nice penmanship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like the girl. What is
Loki
it?
though iconic.
Yeah. It is iconic,
The
of
vibe.
course. But then it's like during the going back to it, the big cafeteria dance number. What's it called? Status Quo. Stick to status quo. Everyone's singing it, and then Gabriella comes in. Everyone looks at her, and she's like. They're like, oh, look what you've done. She's like, oh, this is about me? No, I don't want this. I can't handle attention. I can't have people looking at me. It's too much. And it's just like, shut up.
I can't have people looking at me, it's too much, but this is all because I want the main part in this
Yes.
play.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about? She's just...
just stop going to clubs. If this is, if you don't want anybody to pay attention to you,
Best guidance teacher.
All right, you're getting anxious on stage.
don't go.
Don't.
Just don't go.
Nobody's making you.
It's like that old joke.
Oh,
Guy goes to the doctor. Oh, it hurts when when I move my arm like this. What's the
Dunny.
doctor say? Don't do that. Dunny. Simple. She's a liar because she loves it, and that's fine. But it doesn't make it makes for a pretty frustrating character to bear witness to,
So-
especially when Sharpay and you get a bit older. You actually like, wait now.
Hold on.
Sharpay's not the bad in here. She's okay. She's too passionate and she's a bit cliquey and about she can be about
But
whatever.
she can't even be cliquey. She's not
Well,
called.
no, you're right. You're right. She's got no.
She's cliquey to her own
She's
brand.
ambitious. She's focused.
She's just she's focused. Unlike everyone else in this fucking cast, everyone else is scattered all over. Anyway, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna say something.
Oh, I thought you were. Sorry.
No.
Basically, all this is sorted because then people just sort of have conversations. Like Troy and Gabriella are both pretty miserable because, you know, everyone that they know and love has turned against them and driven them apart. And within about 3 seconds, both of their best friends were like, yeah, that was a bit much from us.
Yeah.
That probably wasn't sound. Do your play. That's it.
Because do we not build up to a nice scene with Troy and his dad, where his dad's like, I can't remember what he says. He basically is like, I don't know. He's basically just like, look, son, I did the same thing. I don't want you to throw your life away, but if you got to go and do this thing, I don't know. He maybe relates it to something to do with getting your mother. I can't remember. It's sweet. It's like that classic Disney formula for
Yes.
their TV movies, but with just some killer songs in the middle of it.
It's
So yeah.
just like there's like obviously every story has an arc, and the arc is just like that they're pals for 2 seconds. They're like, don't do the play, and then they're like, oh no, do the play.
Yeah.
That's
no,
it.
this always
and
happens.
then they do the play.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't do the play. We see the additions. We don't even see the
we
full
don't
play.
see the play. But, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say just, what's my train of thought? This is what they do in every single High School Musical film. There's always some contrived nonsense, weakest part of the plot to try and pull two of our leads apart. It's usually Troy and Gabriella, and it always lasts for about one song or 20 seconds. And to be fair, in High School Musical 2, we do get the best song in the entire trilogy, in my opinion.
Yes.
Betting it comes out of that.
Bet on it. 100%.
Which as I've said before, and I'll reveal here, and I'll go into more detail when we actually do High School Musical 2, but I was so inspired by Bet on It that I actually came up with my own idea for this Blood Brothers type musical of characters from different backgrounds, 3 guys loving this one woman, and one's a mate. I'm not going to go into it, but basically,
We'll save it
all
for
to bet on
summer.
it. We'll save it for summer.
But yeah, basically, Troy and Gabriella also make up because Troy does the very like romantic thing of climbing up her balcony, and he shows up with the sheet music to the first song they sang together, Start Something New, and he's like, it's a duet, you're meant to sing it with me. And she's like, yeah, sure.
He's like, no.
Oh, okay.
It's like
I
no
always
tension.
thought that I would like have a boy climb up a balcony for me in some sort of romantic gesture. What do I get? Swanny awkwardly scaling the balcony because he's forgot his keys.
I've lost my keys so much recently that I'm really good at scaling that balcony now. Very, very good. It's like before it was like, now it's proper good.
Yep. Sometimes that's what you get.
Yeah, well.
But they're made up, and then everyone joins together. They think that things are going to be fine from here on out. They're rehearsing for the auditions. You know, they're up on this rooftop garden having sweet little moments. But Sharpay's like, nah, not having it. Not on my watch. Last spanner in the works. She convinces Miss Darbus to change the day of the audition so it's on the same day
Right,
as the...
so it wasn't then. It wasn't Miss so Sharpay.
No, but also Miss Darbus is just again being.
Oh, she could have just said
immature.
no.
Yeah, because
She could have just been like,
Sharpay manipulates her by being like, they don't really care about your musical. They're just trying to ruin it. They're just trying to sully the good name of musicals.
Miss Darbus needs to grow the fuck up.
Yeah, Miss Darbus needs to
What the
kind
fuck?
of like care about something else.
Yeah.
Like, she maybe needs some perspective.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Miss Darbus just had to be like, you know, if you think you're good enough, then surely I don't need to move the days. And then that would have solved everything, because she would
Or,
have been
as I
like,
say,
that's
just-
outrageous.
just
Of
change
course
the
I'm good
play.
enough.
Just give everyone bigger parts. I'm sure she wrote it herself.
we never see it.
We never see it.
Tinseltown, that's what it's called. The musicale. Spring musicale.
Okay, it's probably the worst thing in the world, right?
Is Tinseltown a real musical? I feel like it could be.
I feel like
don't
it
know.
could be.
But then the songs wouldn't be original if that was the case.
Imagine they were. Imagine we found out all the songs that we love from High School Musical came from this obscure Tinseltown, and it's shit. But then they've done it well. That'd be
So
it's my
anyway,
headcanon now.
everyone's like, nah, this won't stand. We're going to find a way to do it. So then the decathlon people manage to rig like I said, the clock in the basketball game. They get it to start going haywire so that there has to be a break. They set off some kind of chemical explosion in the chemistry lab so they can stop their scholastic decathlon. Given
It's
it's
also on the same day.
Yeah, explicably, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have... No, oh my God, it's not their fault that they can't balance out their lives. It's the fucking school. The school can't do a fucking timetable correctly.
It's Thursday or nothing.
It's Thursday in the middle of spring and everything's happening. Why?
Also, this is like 2 weeks after they come back from
Yes.
Christmas. Like, come on. But do you remember we
Oh, it's
also...
not spring yet.
when we
Yeah,
were-
it's- yeah, it's-
'cause it's
yeah,
spring
right.
musicale, so there'd be the whole rehearsal process. But
Bizarre.
remember, we were also like, everyone in this entire movie is just like, there's not enough time for this, there's not enough time for that. You can't do both things at once. But on the day, as a show of support for each other, the boys bake this massive cake in the shape of the pie symbol for the Scholastic Decathlon team.
It's so
and
funny.
the Decathlon team, what do? Oh,
Make
they
a
make this
poster.
massive poster that says "Go Wildcats." That clearly someone has spent painstaking hours making, crafting, painting this big mural to the Wildcats, and they do like a little cheerleader routine and have this big cake. I'm like, where did you get the time to do all this? That is valuable basketball practice, school show rehearsal, and studying time
Right?
down the drain.
Yeah. Oh, you're sitting worried that you can't get things done. Aye, don't do bullshit like that. You know, the whole reason that they don't have... The whole reason that they're probably so like desperate that these guys get the scholarships is because they need more funding, because they spent it all on that fucking wall for Troy. Do you know what I mean? They're just they can't manage time, they can't manage money, they can't manage their students' clearly hormonal emotions, and they can't handle their own emotions.
Welcome to
No wonder Walter White quit. No wonder Walter White went and cooked meth.
Every school is like that though.
No, it is. It's
It's
nuts.
so true.
I love it. There's such a wee toxic environment that you're there for like 6 years and it's such an important, crucial part, and then it's like, no. It's just like, no. Like, do you know what I mean? That's bizarre.
Oh God.
So, are we now finally
We're at
the
Breaking
callbacks?
Free. We're at the callback. Sorry, we're at callbacks. Sharpay and Ryan smash it again. Bop to the top. And they do.
They do bop to the top.
They bop right to that top.
They do.
It is so good.
Okay,
It's
but
so good.
at this
It's
point,
slick. It's well rehearsed. It's poppy. It's punchy. It's,
But it's
banging.
not. But it's not breaking free.
It's not breaking free.
And also, I just want to point
Also,
out.
it can't be because they're brother and sister.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. This is what I was going to point out. This is the strange thing that they keep playing up this sort of weird half sexual tension between the brother and sister character. And you're
I
like,
think that they probably imagined in like whatever writer's room that it was Sharpay and her gay best friend, but they just couldn't have done that on Disney Channel
that's
at the time.
literally it. Yeah, 2006. That's literally it. You're so right. Because that was before gay marriage was even legalized and stuff
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, fuck.
Even here,
And
Yeah.
what always kind of strikes me when you see these two different audition pieces side by side, I'm like, they seem like they're from vastly different musicals. What is the plot of this Tinseltown?
Oh no, it's like
It's got what I've been looking
Yes.
for, Bop to the Top and Breaking Free
It's
in
like-
it. Like,
it's
what
like,
is the plot
okay.
of this musical?
at this point, I want a little reference to the Lost episode. It's the exact same in that, because in the Lost episode in the podcast that we did a film, I won't say the name, but in the film, they have a musical of the Elephant Man. And it's fucking nuts, because you just keep... Honestly, I've said this before, I love an implied narrative, yeah? If you can imply a larger narrative that's ridiculous and doesn't quite work, that's amazing. And they do that with High School Musical, they do it with the Elephant Man musical, but they also do it with a film that we definitely will maybe do in the podcast, Hamlet 2. A guy, it's also set in an Albuquerque school with a failing drama teacher, and he writes his own masterpiece, quote unquote, called Hamlet 2. It's a sequel to Hamlet. It involves lightsaber fights and a I am your father moment, and
Brilliant.
yeah. But the point I'm making is, if you're not going to show us the whole musical, you need to
imply
that it's got wild tonal shifts. Like, there's no way that we should be able to get from Bop to the Top to Breaking Free, and yet we
With
will.
the same characters,
The same-
apparently. They're auditioning for the same... Was it Arthur and Minnie?
Oh, you're right. You're right. Wait now. So
How do these
wait-
characters get from
You're
Bop
so
to
right.
the Top to Breaking
Yeah,
Free?
yeah. How? Okay, so say Troy and Gabriella get cast in Tinseltown, the musicale, right? Off to a great start. That happens, and then
He's going somewhere with this. He's cooking.
you've got to like. So yeah, I'm trying to. They're going to have to be on a ladder going bop, 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 bop to the top, and then straight into right, get off. Then you're going to be sad, break. Like we're sort of. It doesn't
And
make
also,
sense that
Hard
those
to
same.
believe that I couldn't see.
So now, okay, but they did that one slower. Does that make me think that they're going to do Bop to the Top slower? Bop, 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 bop to the top.
See,
You're like, what the fuck?
because I know that they like Sharpay and Ryan do a song and then Gabrielle and Troy do a song, but slow it down. I always think it's Bop to the Top in my head before I remember what it is, and I'm like, I always try and picture it in my head. And I'm like, how the fuck do they slow Bop to the Top down?
Yeah.
How do they make
must.
that sad?
Like going with the trend of what they're doing, they must. So now, I want to hear that's what I want to hear. I want to hear Ryan and Sharpay's version of Breaking Free.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear.
Oh my
It would have
god,
involved
yeah.
tap dancing for
yeah.
sure.
And like
Yeah.
some synth in the background or something
Yeah.
like that.
I want to
Amazing.
hear it.
But anyway, then we get Breaking Free. They all run in. Everyone's in the stalls dancing. It is
Breaking Free is iconic.
It's amazing.
it's so good.
It is the song
Yeah.
That
of
I
2006.
cried.
Yeah. I cry. I
So
cried at it.
I cried when I was 23.
I'm pretty sure I got a teeny when we watched it last month.
It was when I watched it with my sisters and I showed them it for the first time. So my sisters are a lot younger than me. They're both in primary school. And we watched it during lockdown. And when I finished uni, I wanted to go into doing theatre and stuff. And it was 2020. Theatre was dead. I'd graduated into the wasteland of unemployment at this point in time. And I remember thinking, because like I don't think, like we didn't get to do our last things that we did with the Drama Society, which, you know, when you're in the Drama Society feels like the most
The end of the
all-encompassing
world.
thing. And I remember sitting watching, being like, I don't know when I'm going to be on stage again. Like crying at Breaking Free. Because I remembered how exciting, like, I mean, they just look like they're having the time of their lives. And I was like, oh, really moved by that. And then my sisters were like, why are you crying at High School Musical?
Oh, I thought this was going to lead into they started crying as well. There's this beautiful fun. No, you're just lame. Great.
Yeah.
As always.
And the thing is, I was
getting
going to try and
invested in
explain
that.
it, but then
Do you
I
not
was
think
like,
as well that in Breaking Free, like, not that she's not good, right? But Vanessa Hudgens, it's okay, but fucking Zac Efron, or not Zac Efron, because it's not actually him singing in any of the songs, but whoever is singing is fucking killing it.
Drew Goodley, I think
He is absolutely like singing his heart out. He's like the what do you call the higher voice?
Soprano.
He's the soprano.
Yeah, Drew Seeley.
She's just there.
Drew Seeley, sorry. Yes.
So he was they wrote the songs before they cast Troy Bolton, and they weren't written for his style of singing. So they had his voice dubbed by this guy, Drew Seeley, who also played Troy in the tour, because he did a High School Musical tour around the UK, and it wasn't actually Zac Efron on tour, it was this guy, because he had to sing live. But all the other characters were played by the same actors and stuff,
reading this in the facts, I found this. Zac Efron's voice, he only sang the first 4 lines of Start of Something New, the first sentence of Breaking Free. So what? We're so red.
But that's why it's so low. Because it's
yeah. You're like, well, that's not, well, there you go. Yeah, that's quite funny. Everyone sang in the sequels, though, as all the music in those films has been tailored to specifically follow his voice.
But he sounds really like that guy.
Yeah, it sounds like Zac Efron.
I think we should just let him do it.
I always thought that the most convincing bit that sounded like Zac Efron was the first line of Breaking Free, so that is funny that it is him. It's probably because they had to go from him talking into him singing, and it maybe would have
sounded weird.
Obvious.
Yeah.
And also, let's be real, they were probably, look, it was a bit of a gamble for Disney, I think, doing this sort of a musical for kids on no, let me finish. A musical for kids.
Imagine.
No, that wasn't animated. Right?
It's a Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I
DCOM.
think there was a lot of stress behind the scenes of this needs to sound good. We can't have these guys out doing this. So they probably were trying like, oh fuck, we've got his voice isn't actually in that range. Shit, but we're still wheels moving. So then they just got Seeley to go and do it all, and it works. Yeah. But I think when they have the forward planning, we get stuff like better on it in number 2.
Brilliant.
Although I'm excited to see 3 again, because I honestly can't remember a single song from the third one.
No, not gonna.
I feel like the third one, I maybe was a bit older by the time it came out, so it didn't have that same like resonance, and also it came out in the cinema, which was a bigger deal, but kind of it was so polished it kind of took the straight to TV shine off it slightly.
Yeah, so no, because the only ones I remember from 3 is just the ones that are from the first 2 that are getting reprised.
But having watched it all 3 movies, arguably it's probably the most like. It's like the best film, if that makes sense. It's not my favourite. Yeah.
Okay,
it's actually really good.
Okay, cool. I'm excited.
But I just didn't watch it as much when I was a kid. But anyway, Breaking Free, everyone's buzzing. They clearly have the main part. Miss Darby's just throwing the cast list away, which is
wild.
rude to Sharpay.
So rude. But no, it is wild though, because look, the film has been at this point a bit of a up and down affair. It's ridiculous. It is a bit hokey in a bad way, but also in a good way. And you're like, oh fuck, what this is? And then you got some lame scenes, you got weird pacing, like they're falling out. 20 seconds later, they're together. And then suddenly, none of that fucking matters, because we're hearing one of the best musical numbers of all time, and it's just like passion.
Remember when it used to come on in the club?
Yeah, I loved it. And I remember when I get so sweaty screaming that song in clubs, steaming off like 8 VKs, like just I can't sing it, yeah, like that, and just the rest of the bullshit fades away. Anything that doesn't work is made to
Are
work.
you talking about the movie, or are you in Dusk just now?
Both. Simultaneously both. Dusk was a nightclub we went to, for anyone that doesn't know.
Where they played High School Musical
Where they played High School Musical quite a lot, which probably says a lot about the demographic.
And why it's not open anymore.
Yeah, fair. But no, I just think it does supersede all that. And you see that moment where he does the... I can't remember the line it is, but it's like he swings around her with his arm outspread.
Yeah.
And the camera moves as well. It's like
the choreography, the camera work there is amazing.
Pure cinema. Like genuinely
it's
pure
so
cinema.
Good. It's so
which is
moving.
why, as much as I have issues and find this film lame and doesn't quite work as well as it could work,
I'm sitting here right now wishing I was watching it.
Yes, same.
As soon as we're done here,
we're gonna stick it on. We're gonna get it on that fucking TV. We're gonna get it playing on this TV. Can't wait to go on this one.
How many films have we done that we love so much?
Yeah.
And we've sat and reviewed them. I've never felt like that where I'm like, I can't wait for this to be done so I can watch that on YouTube.
No, there's just something about...
At the very least, I'm gonna listen to Breaking Free on the way home.
Yeah,
because
it's not just the song though. That's what I'm saying. If it was just the song, I could just go fuck it. Just the songs. But it's the camera, it's the acting, it's the vibe, it's the build up. Like
set,
it's the
lighting.
set, yeah, it's the movement, the
the pure
choreography.
vibes.
It's just, I'm kind of repeating myself a bit, but I am
I
just
think,
so astounded
like,
by how good that sequence
I know that
actually
you
is.
don't really like Grease, so this doesn't really apply to you. But I think it's genuinely up there with Grease. It's that good.
It's our
incredible.
generation's Grease.
It is.
Absolutely,
It's so good.
it is. It's yeah.
It's so
amazing.
good. And that's the end.
So they win the basketball, they win the decathlon, obviously.
Yeah. We take off
and
the
then
rest.
we're back together for a full group number. Everyone, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Everyone has a wee dance. Ryan does some distasteful gyrating.
Oh,
That's
yeah, he
always
does.
stuck in my memory. And yeah, that's it. Zeke and Sharpay. Zeke, who makes the creme brulee, he's in the basketball team. And Sharpay have a little flirt. They have a little giggle together. That's nice. That's it. Movie done. Credits roll.
There was something really funny that I've also discovered because I did a bit of funny points. How
Funny points. I did a bit of funny
points with Swanny.
funny points with Swanny. Ashley Tisdale originally auditioned for the role of Gabriella,
Very funny.
That is funny.
and then but director Karen Tang was like, "Nah, you'd be better at Sharpay."
You are a Sharpay or a Gabriella, though.
Yeah.
You are.
You're one or the other.
Sharpay, Gabriella,
Yeah.
Yep.
and Corbin Blue. I don't know who
Not
I
even a
am.
little
I don't
bit.
know who I am. Probably Ryan.
You're one of the skateboarders.
Oh yeah.
You are one of the
I'm just
skateboarders.
hanging out like. All right.
Sure.
I'll do it in the morning. What's your talent, Swanny? We'll do it tomorrow. No, I don't know. I don't think I've probably got a casting in this one, but you two are definitely one of those two.
Yeah.
Or
I could maybe be the wee piano lassie, but I feel like I'm too much of a Gabriella. I would never
Yeah, no,
shirk
I
away
think
from
I
that.
think maybe when you were younger you were the piano
Yeah.
lassie, but you're definitely Gabriella now.
You say that like it's such an insult.
it is though.
I know. It's also true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the first time I actually watched the film was like Boxing Day. We got it for Christmas Day, and my sister woke up and put it on, and was like the sporty one. I was the lame one, and at the end she got up and like decided to show off all her gymnastic moves as you do when you're a kid. And she got up and she started like copying the cheerleaders' moves, and then like so confidently cartwheeled directly into our Christmas tree and landed in the Christmas tree, and the whole thing fell down on top of her, and it was just very entertaining. And it was wrong for me to be so smug about this because there is a 5-year age difference between us, so I would have been like 8. No, I can't have been 8. I've been like 9, and she would have been like 4. I was like, haha, so you get fucking showing off.
Brilliant.
So now that we're at the end, we'll do our ratings.
Yeah, of course. I've got another one fact I want to tell you, but we can do the ratings first.
Okay. I think that having like sat here waiting to do the podcast, I was kind of, of the opinion that I was like, oh yeah, it's probably like a 7 or 8. And then the more I talk about it, the more like insane, like animalistic desperation I have to go and watch it after this.
Yeah.
And I
But you can
feel
feel
like-
that about a 7 or an 8. You can feel that about that.
But it's just not.
No, I'm just
just-
trying to. Sorry, I am just trying to keep a level of rigid structure to our number system. But you always defy it. And that's
I
fine.
always have this like slightly kind of emo pick me girl energy in me somewhere that like makes me go, ugh, musicals. Even though every time I watch any musical, I'm so obsessed with it. It becomes my life for the next couple of days at the very least.
Yeah.
And all my favourite films are musicals. I don't know who the fuck I'm kidding.
yeah, I don't know why you're lying this.
I'm only lying to myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it gets a 10. Every fucking song in its
off.
class. I love it. I love it so much.
Okay.
It's so good. It's a 10.
What would you give it?
I wonder.
I literally would say everything that you just said. I was like sitting there today being like, I'm probably going to give us an 8 tonight. But when we watched this together, now a while ago, I literally sat and sang every single word to
So did
every
I.
single song. I mouthed along the script, and I sat with the biggest smile on my face the whole way. I was like dancing in my seat, grinning ear to ear. I think if a film can make you feel that way, it is a 10.
Yes.
And that is the system by which I operate.
Okay, it's not the one I operate by, but I do appreciate it. No, look. So on my IMDb, from when I last watched this, I gave it a 5. and I don't agree with that. That's too. I think it was more. I was just going. Yeah, the songs are great, whatever. But the film's, it's fine. It's whatever. It's a teen movie. It's by the numbers. It's fine. But as I've said, watching it again, thinking about it again, and then realizing that the songs aren't just good. It's the scene that the songs are in is very well constructed. So it's a difficult one for me with the way I rate. It's difficult to rate, but I'm probably going to give it, again, with the sheer enjoyment and the sheer nostalgia and, the fact that we're definitely going to go and watch at least one or two scenes after this, I'm going to give it a 7. I think that's a fair.
That's pretty good for you.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's pretty high. And like, as I say, the reason I emphasise it can be this is that I love a lot of films that are like 7s, 6s or 8s, and I will have a big grin through them. But I will still always put them into where I think they fit into that radar.
Except for The Room, which gets a 10 from you,
The Room,
apparently.
no, The Room is a 10. The Room just... The Room...
We're not talking about
We
The
do
Room.
this every podcast.
Listen, the exception that proves the rule is The Room for me. But I give it a 7. Last little thing, two little points. High School Musical was the working title until they came up with a better name for it. They couldn't come up with a better name for it. And then suddenly it came time to do marketing materials and they just went for it. And I think that's kind of iconic and that's the best way to do it sometimes. And
Yeah,
say-
just saying it as it is.
Tinseltown.
Yeah, imagine it was called call back to Tinseltown or come to Tinseltown or I'm shite, I can't even multitask. But no, I think, and then the last fact that I heard is they recorded the entire soundtrack in 5 days.
That's pretty crazy.
That's nuts.
That is.
So not filmed it obviously, but like as in because obviously a lot of this can be dubbed over, but they got it all nailed in 5 days. What?
I love
Why?
it.
How? Why would you do that?
I love that it was just, that was the working title, the High School Musical, and then that's just what they went with.
Because what else would you call it? Like, as in
That's a
genuinely.
good question. What
Yeah,
else
like-
would you call
Yeah,
it?
that's a good question.
Breaking Free, I guess you could call
Breaking
it that.
Free is a
Yeah,
good
'cause
one.
I suppose, they are breaking
'Cause they
free
are.
of their...
Yeah.
It just sounds very heavy though if you
Does,
call it
doesn't
Breaking
it?
It
Free.
does.
It sounds like it's going to be about something far more oppressive
Yeah,
than
yeah.
not being
No,
allowed to
because
sing.
you had to market it right. But no, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
This is my quick fire question.
Go
If you
for
could pick any aspect or person of this film to do a spin-off movie about, who would it be? Because I think I know my answer.
Okay.
Well, who's the rogue?
Oh, we didn't pick a rogue!
So this is the thing we always do. We always pick the most roguish performance or the person that's like most out of place within the film that is so obscene that they stand out and have their own narrative.
Mm-hmm.
With this one, it's quite difficult
Because everyone's so wild.
because everyone's so wild but in
There's
tune.
so much going on all the time.
Maybe Miss Darbus. Maybe it
Well,
has to be.
that's what my spin-off was going to be about. I wanted to see Miss Darbus struggling as a Broadway actress,
Yeah,
like
okay.
20 years
I'm
previous.
going to unless we come up with a better one at another point. I'm going to put my vote in for Miss Darbus because I was thinking her for the spin-off
I
as
agree.
well.
I think Miss
I
Darbus.
think Miss Darbus, or maybe Chad for me.
I mean, Chad is.
Chad's in number 2, definitely.
Yeah, Chad with all his watches is pretty rogue, and he's just really randomly aggro at times.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
not fitting
And I mean,
with
so,
the
but
rest
you
of
can
the
also make an
film.
argument for Gabriella being the rogue because she's such a rogue that she's
Such
become
an
the league.
insidious rogue.
Yeah,
So I put
she's
her as the
very
rogue.
insidious. No, I don't want that.
Do you want that?
No, I think that
Miss
that
Darbus.
Miss Darbus definitely, because she is the reason why everything plays out. But you wouldn't think of the film like that until you look at it in depth for
Yeah.
3 hours.
And also, she has, like, as we say, she has this great discipline of like, oh, it's the theatre, it has to be this, da 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 da. And as soon as she hears one good callback, she's like, fuck it. Like, mate, you are a
This
dick.
kid's still on the wings waiting to go.
You've literally, yeah. There'll be people that are literally, you've caused them to have a mental breakdown
Hey,
about
Susie
this.
with her pogo sticks like.
I'll go fuck myself then. Brilliant. Oh, but yes, no. So yeah, I love that. 7 out of 10, but it sounds like it's 10. Yes. So
Amazing.
So guys, thank you for listening. We'll be back hopefully next week, 2 weeks, soon. Very soon. Very soon as we can. Imminently.
To quote Swanny, no guarantees.
No guarantees. No, soon. But
Thank you so much for listening, and Happy New Year.
happy New Year.
And
The
happy
Swanny
Easter,
way.
just in case.
The Swanny way, 2 months late. Almost 3. No, 2. Okay.
See you later. Bye.